Hey, if Georgia wins another title, where does Kirby rank nationally? I assume he means in the head coach power ratings. He'd be, I guess, number one. I'm silent because I want you to yell at me. I know a lot of you are. So I look at this a different way. I always have. Whether we're measuring jobs or coaches or whatnot, whether I'm power rating teams or not, I always look strictly from this point moving forward, okay? Even as I say that, I'm going to look in the comments later, and someone's going to tell me Kirby can't possibly be number one over someone like Nick Saban because he doesn't have as many national championships, and then I'm just going to say, did you listen to what I said? And then they're going to type in all caps back at me, and it's a vicious circle or cycle. If Kirby were to win another national title this year, I mean, he would have gone back-to-back. They are the favorites to do so, and they have every aspect of their program humming. There's an excellent synergy over there. I don't think Kirby could coach another 20 years and have more synergy amongst a coaching staff and an organization than he has right now. They got it rolling right now. That's not a promise it'll always be that way. It's very, very hard to create what they have over there right now. And the thing about it is, when you have it, everyone wants it. And everyone comes and tries to poach. And everyone's got an advancement opportunity professionally for some of your guys. You're on rung 3 there, I'll put you on rung 2 over here. So that's the here and now. But if he were to win it, then certainly you could at least have that conversation. I think it'd get really dumb, and some people would say some really regrettable things on both sides of the aisle. But that's not what I want to do. I gave you my token answer. Yeah, I guess it'd be number 1 or 1A, if that makes you happy. Do you remember December 2021? We were looking at B-roll there of January 2022, but do you remember December 2021? Let me take you back. Let's hit the old rewind button here. January 2021, or I'm going to restart that because I think we're going to clip this for later. Keep rolling, Colin. December 2021, you remember it? December 2020, it's only a year ago. December 2021, this week, as a matter of fact. Kirby Smart is getting harpooned by some of his own fan base and by the national media. And let me tell you what they're saying about Kirby Smart 1 year ago today. They're saying it doesn't matter how much he wins in the regular season. It doesn't matter how many number 1 recruiting classes he has. It doesn't matter how many guys are projected to go first round in the draft, because he can't beat Nick Saban and he can't win the big one. Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? It's 1 year ago. Just the same as they were telling you Stetson Bennett can't start the playoff games. He just lost to Alabama. Put JT Daniels in. They were telling you Kirby Smart can't win the big one. Man, so much changed in January, didn't it? And now, lo and behold, I got folks asking me, is Kirby Smart the best head coach in the country? Same folks. Same ones if you go to their tweet history. Same ones saying Kirby can't win the big one. Y'all got Mark Richt 2.0 over there. You can't win the big one. Foolishness. It was always foolishness. They lost to him in 2017. They lost to him in 2018. They lost to him in 2020. And 1 year ago, last week, they had lost to him for a 4th straight time. Kirby was 0-4 against Nick Saban. Beat him once in the national championship game, the most important game you can play in. And now I got folks telling me, well, not only has he bypassed Nick Saban, but man, he's number 1 overall in the country if he wins another one. Will you people make your mind up? Understand, you could have your opinions move at the speed of honey instead of water on this sort of thing. If I put drops of both on a plate and turn it sideways, water just falls right off. And that's some of you. He's the best. No, he's not the best. He'll never win the big one. Man, the guy's going to win 5 of the next 10. And there's the drop of honey. Just boop, 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 boop. It's still moving. It's moving very, very slowly. That honey is wise. That honey knows things don't really change all that radically. Kirby Smart, I got blasted last year because I told you I thought he already was one of the 2 best coaches in college football. I put him at number 2. And you blasted me because you said, how could you have him above Dabo Swinney? Dabo's won multiple titles and Kirby hasn't. And I said point blank, from this point moving forward, I think I would take Kirby at Pate State. We haven't talked. There's been no negotiation. I don't want to start any rumors. I'm just saying if Pate State had an opening and I did happen to target Kirby or Dabo and I had both available, because why wouldn't we? I think I'd go after Kirby. And people thought that was crazy because, well, he doesn't have as many national titles. And I If you're judging resumes, if this is a LinkedIn.com competition, that's one thing. But this is the real world. And we're talking about present time moving forward. So I guess the follow-up there, if you're trying to rank him, if they are to win the national championship, I guess the follow-up would be, what do you expect from Nick Saban moving forward? See, some of you probably expect he's about to retire, and he's not. And some of you probably expect Nick Saban is a little downtrodden because they didn't perform better this year. There's one way to describe his mood and his attitude as it relates to this year. I don't think downtrodden is it. Now, Abner and Alabaster, Wayne and Wetumpka, Sylvia and Sylacauga, they may be a little bit downtrodden. They may be down in the dumps. They may have their daubers down. Nick Saban's just going to go on a warpath. And he's going to fire everyone, and he's going to portal kids out of there because he has a button that does just that, and they'll have a new-looking team next year. I know some of you have been hitting me up saying, I thought you said these coordinators were going to be gone. Yeah, I said that. Still saying it, for the record. So, coordinators is a plural term. I'm not definitive on two of them being gone. I am very certain on one of them being gone. And you can guess which side of the ball I'm talking about. So, yeah, I think there are a lot of changes still to come there. I don't think my point is, I think Nick Saban will be fully recharged on a moment's notice, and they'll be right back in the thick of things again next year. I just think Kirby Smart's that good. It's wild to me to just kind of put a cap on this segment and this show, really. It is wild to me that someone else has been able to raise a program to the level that Saban has Alabama operating. I never thought it would happen. I never, ever thought until that guy left college football, anyone else would get their program operating even remotely on a comparable level. And Kirby did it. Time and time again, we've seen coaches, even since Kirby was at Alabama, we've seen coaches come to Alabama, leave Alabama, try and duplicate Alabama and fail miserably because it doesn't matter if you have the blueprint. Nick Saban's never even been bashful about talking about his approach. He does clinics, he has coaches come in there and brainstorm and share ideas. Why has he never been shy about sharing his secret sauce? Because he knows the sauce is not the secret. He is, and there's not another one of them out there. And he was almost right, because there haven't been. But there is one now, and he's over in Athens, Georgia. He worked under him for a decade and a half. Kirby Smart pulled it off. He pulled off what I thought no one could ever pull off. Now, the Challenge 2.0 is what Nick Saban is most famous for, and what I praise him the most for, and that is sustaining excellence over a decade. Dabo had a big flash. Dabo was in the title game in 15. He won it in 16. He won it again in 18. He was there again in 19. That was an incredible little brief stretch there. And Clemson may not be done. They may be recharging. Georgia is in sort of the prime period now as a program that Clemson found themselves in a few years ago. Will they sustain it long term? That's what Nick Saban's done. He's had the #1 program in America since, I would argue, 2009. And it never changes. There's never been a down year. There's never been the 8-win season. The closest they came was this year, and they still won double-digit games. I'm amazed at it, though. I'm not amazed that it happened at Georgia. Before I go, since we're talking about how much I've been blasted in the past, I got into it big time with one Timothy Watts, who I'm told is giving a stirring speech in Sheffield, Alabama, as we speak. I got into it one time with Watts because I got asked an innocent question on this show. And it was, which job do you think is the best in college football? And very quickly I answered Georgia. And of course, the usual blowback was, how can you say a program that at that point had not won a title in 38 years is better than one that's winning them every year or other year? And I said, well, you didn't ask me who I think the best head coach in college football is. You asked me which job I thought was the best. In other words, where is every resource I need to dominate the sport most readily available? And I've thought the answer's been the University of Georgia for a long time. The fact that they hadn't won titles just means they'd underachieved. Trust me, I grew up there. I've long been aware of the underachievement nexus that had been Georgia football. And now it's changed, and so everyone can get on board now. Now it's cool to say, oh, Georgia's the #1 job in the country. They were before Kirby Smart got there. When Kirby went there, It was akin to, back in the day, Florida finally getting the right head coach. Because people knew for a long time, oh, I hope Florida never hires the right coach. Because Florida was bad, but they were a great job. It's just no one had realized it. Texas A&M is that right now. Texas A&M is a sleeping Goliath. I don't know if Jimbo's the right guy. If they do ever get the right guy, Texas A&M can do that. Texas can do it. Like a lot of places can do it. I've just always thought Georgia was there. It was primed. And they happened to get the right guy. They did their due diligence. They didn't care. They didn't have any head coaching experience. They got the right guy. And as a result, he's got the program right there at the top echelon of college football. And he himself, as a head coach, is in the top echelon of college football. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me. That's how we keep this entire thing free.